So today's been an extremely long day. The day's not over yet, but I'm getting to it late. But see, the thing is, when it comes down to it, it's all about consistency, and it's all about making it happen, and it's all about the mental toughness in this game. I'm gonna try and get this video posted pretty much as soon as I record it. And I've been going through it mentally today. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but one thing I want to talk about and touch base on today is about growing up fast, especially if you're a man. There's a lot of responsibilities that you have to take on being an adult. And I swear, I feel like I was one that did have to grow up at a pretty young age. I started working when I was 15. There's some people that I know, 17, 18, even 19 years old, that never even really had to get a job. And so having the ability to understand how much work actually goes into being able to generate an income for yourself. And when I say income, it doesn't necessarily have to be anything significant. You could be getting paid minimum wage, but it's just the fact that you understand the concept of money a little bit better, because that the time that you're putting in to the amount of money that you're making, it's the concept of understanding how money equates to time, especially when you're working a job getting paid minimum wage, having an hourly salary or whatever it is. At a young age, you become more appreciative of things. You become a little bit more humble. You once again understand the concept a little bit better, to the point where you're less willing to accept certain things from others. And I'm speaking from my perspective. Once I started making money for myself and understanding how long it actually took for me to make $200-$300, that's when I really stopped wanting to accept certain things from other people, because I know the amount of time that it takes for another person to invest into themselves or into their job, into whatever, in order to acquire it. And I think working your way up from there, you start to appreciate yourself for being able to provide yourself with the things that you want, whether, you know, that's buying yourself a phone, whether that's you being capable of making investments and working your way up to a point where you can then maybe buy property, buy houses, whatever it is. You are proud of yourself in those moments, because you understand the amount of pain that you went through in order to acquire those things that you wanted so badly. And nobody can take away from you the fact that you're the one who worked towards it and put in so much effort in order to achieve it. And that self-gratification is everything, because the more that you achieve and the more that you're able to acquire on your own, the more it pushes you to want to do greater things, to want to do better things. And I find that people that develop these sorts of mental understandings at older ages tend to lack the ambition to go out and try to make things work, because everything's always been handed to them. So from a young age, understanding the concept of being a go-getter and being able to create these opportunities on your own, I think will shape you into a well-rounded, mature, an adult being at a young age. Once again, especially if you're a man, because as a man, you're supposed to be a provider. And how can you provide without understanding how to provide for yourself if everything has always been provided to you? So from a young age, I figured out how to provide for myself and how to put myself in a position where I didn't have to ask anybody for anything. And I was the person that was always giving to people. Now, giving isn't necessarily bad. Honestly, giving is a good thing, but give without being taken advantage of, and be capable of setting your foot down, because you're going to get yourself in a position too where the more you're able to provide, the more people want to take from you. So you have to understand what you actually have to provide people with. Providing isn't necessarily always materialistic. Providing can be knowledge. If I was 12 years old right now and I was capable of talking to myself today, I would appreciate me giving myself the knowledge over me giving my younger self money or any materialistic thing that might give me pleasure for a brief period of time. Understand what you can bring to people's lives, and if you're trying to shape yourself into the best well-rounded man that you could be, acquire these skills from a young age. And if you're already above those ages, really take a look at your overall situation, and how many things do you have that you've given to yourself, and how many things do you have that other people are providing for you? If you're 19, 20 years old, is your mom paying your phone bill? Is your mom paying your car insurance? Is your mom paying for your vehicle? And figure out, what do you think you could do to put yourself in a position where you're providing those things for yourself? The thing is though, at the end of the day, if you have the ability to take advantage of certain things, what I'm trying to tell you guys is not to take it for granted. Having things provided for you is great, but understand that the more that you provide for yourself, the more that you mentally gain that independence, and the more that pushes you towards grinding for bigger purposes, and the more that pushes you towards grinding for a bigger purpose, because you're the one sitting there not depending on anybody anymore, and you're gaining that self-independence, and that self-independence that shows you mentally, it builds a mental barrier in your mind that the only person that can give you the things that you want is yourself. And it's not gonna allow you to sit back and take the easy route of going to ask somebody to support you. At the end of the day, all of this is a mental game. And I've said this in a previous video, your mind is a muscle, and what can you do to train your mind and work out your mind to create a strong brain, right? How do you create a strong mind? Well, you train it. The same way that I said you train your biceps, you curl, you do ab crunches, you do cardio to train your heart and your lungs. You train your mind by putting it in these tough situations where you're the only person that can get yourself out of it. That's what builds that mental toughness. If you're going through a hard time, is it your parents bailing you out? Who's taking you out of those situations? Are you figuring it out yourself? Are you resorting to going for support? Asking for help isn't an issue, but you have to understand that that should be a last resort. You should always be able to figure out any sorts of problems that you're going through on your own, because that's what builds that mentally tough barrier, especially if you're a man, especially if you're a young adult. What are you gonna do when your parents aren't around anymore? I've been on my own for the longest time now, and I feel like I've had to do pretty much everything that I know all by myself. And I've trained my mind to just understand I'm the only person that got me. Nobody else got me, I got me. You could depend on whoever, but you came in this world by yourself, and you're gonna leave this world on your own. So in that, why are you gonna depend on other people all the time? Why is that what you're gonna resort to when those people are dead and gone and you're stuck here by yourself? Where are you gonna go to at that point when all these people are dead and gone and the only person you really have at that point is you? What kind of mindset are you gonna be in? At that point, I could see why people get depressed, because if you get into difficult situations and you crash under pressure and you fold under pressure because you're always relying on other people to take you out, how are you gonna do it when those people aren't there? Who are you gonna go talk to, and who are you gonna resort to supporting you in those moments? In times where you feel down and you wanna go talk to somebody. This is why I would say I don't even fully believe in therapy, because you walk into a therapy session and these people are there to get paid, and you're going through it mentally. And you might say you're depressed or you have anxiety or whatever, and you're relying on these people to take you out, and these people prescribe you with drugs to put you in a certain mind state. Yes, they might, as they say, help you understand your feelings better and help you navigate them better by giving you tools. But at the end of the day, you're depending on another person to be able to do that for you. So every time you go through a tough situation and you're mentally going through it, you're going to go into therapy and relying on this other person to support you. I just feel like at the end of the day, you're the only person that really understands your situation. And yes, there are some people out there that care about you and might care about your situation and might want to help you and support you. But at the end of the day, they can only support you so far. And if you can't support yourself, you're not going to be able to take yourself out of these situations. I'm trying to see if this light will help me. I don't know, there's a train passing by, but I'm a firm believer of all these things. And I really take a seat back. I really sit back and really just always try to figure out in every situation what I'm going to be capable of doing to support myself and to bring myself out of these tough times. That being said, we'll cut the video off short today. I'm about to head into the store. I'm going to get something else recorded for you guys tomorrow morning. And this is a topic I really want to touch on, because I see too many people, especially young adults, young men. I say men because at a certain point, if this is a channel you guys are supporting and you guys are listening to the information that I'm giving you and the knowledge I'm giving you, I'm not trying to help boys. I'm trying to turn boys to men and show you guys that, and give you guys the tools that I've used myself to put myself in the situation I'm in. I put myself in today, and the tools that I'm going to continue to apply to my life to try and be the best version of myself, the best man that I could be, and the best person that I could be as well for my future family, because these things are all important. They're things that you might not necessarily consider at times, but you always got to think about your future self and how you're gonna put your future self in that situation that you wanna be able to put your future self in. How do you get there? What do you do to support yourself? What do you do to turn yourself into that human that you want to be, the best version of yourself? Everybody talks about the best version of themselves, talks about finding their purpose, talks about making the money, talks about being a man, but aren't necessarily willing to take the steps to get there or don't know how to take the steps to get there. So that's really what I want to touch base on my channel and give you guys a little bit more insight on, provide you guys at least with the tools that I've used. Provide you guys with the tools that I've used to be able to at least be on my purpose and be happy with where I'm at today. I'm not satisfied per se, but I'm not unhappy. So that'll bring us to the end of the video. We'll touch base on some more stuff tomorrow. And with that being said, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. How do I turn this shit off?